Hello and welcome back to another Unreal Engine 4 and 5 game dev tutorial. In this tutorial, you will learn how to create challenge-based games with a time limit. This is a great timed gameplay mechanics tutorial if you are creating something like collecting coins, surviving waves, or completing objectives before time runs out. So let me show you what we're going to do. So after a couple of seconds, after 5 seconds, in the top left corner, game over. Okay, let's get started. First, let's create a widget blueprint. And let's call it player HUD 3. This is because I have created a couple of them before. Let's open it up. Let's add overlay. And let's add a text. And let's set the horizontal alignment to the middle. Let's add a padding to the top, maybe 50. And let's rename this here game time underscore txt for text. Make sure to check this is variable and compile and save. So you can leave this as it is, or you can just put something like game timer. It doesn't really matter because we're going to change this accordingly. Let's go to the graph. So event tick and pre-construct we can delete. Let's create a function now. Let's name this function timePlayed. Let's create a variable. Let's name this game time. So variable type float and compile and save. Let's set the variable. So I get this and set it as an input. And from the return value, we can type toText. So we need toText float. So we are converting this game time text into a number. From this, we can type toString, so toString text. And from here, we are going to append. So we want the value to be in the B, and in A, we're going to type something like timePlayed, columns, and make space. So we are splitting this text. This is going to be in 2. So first it's going to be timePlayed, and the B is going to be the value. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. From the return value, type toText. So this is the conversion, and get this game time text. So again, this is the variable of this, because we have set this is variable. And from here, set text. So we need set text text. And plug this in. And connect this. Okay, so compile and save. Now with this function, we have made this text to be timePlayed and the number. Now let's set this when the game starts. Go to the event graph and get the function and simply plug this in. Don't worry about the time here, because when the game starts, it's going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now let's open our third-person character, or any character you have. So right click and event begin play. Let's create this widget. So create widget. Call the widget we have created. So player HUD 3. So from here, add to viewport. Now in order to see the text on the screen, so 1, 2, 3, 4, instead of using event tick, so never use event tick, I have a whole tutorial for that, we're going to use timer. So let's go custom event, and let's call this something like game played. And from here, type timer, set timer by event, and get this pins and connect like this. So we need to set this to looping and we want every second to check. So from the return value, you can either create as a variable, or you can simply pull it from here. So we have to call a function from before. So we need time plate function. So from here, time plate, here it is. I'll just make a reload nodes here. Now how can we increment this? So there is a very special node. It's called get game time since creation. So if you hover over, this is going to be the number is seconds since this actor is created. So when you spawn the player in the game, this is going to start counting. And please note, this node will always count the game seconds in an incremental mode, meaning it will always go +1, +2, +3, and so on. You cannot drag a pin from here and type something like minus, so it's not going to work. This node is designed, is programmed to go only plus. And that way we are setting this function. Okay? So from the return value, put a greater sign. So we need greater equal. Let's call a branch. So every second we are going to check if we reach these seconds. Let's say 5 seconds. So if you want to create a game where the player must complete the goal or any objective before the time runs out, this is where you should put the time, in this over here. So when we reach 5 seconds of the game, we want to clear and invalidate the timer. So clear and invalidate timer by handle. We can simply plug it like this. You don't have to pull a pin and promote to variable. You don't need it. You can use it like this. So this will fire only if you reach the 5 seconds or more. So if you come to 5 seconds, let's call a print string. Let's type something like game over. Let's put a red color so you can see it clearly. So let's put 10 seconds to stay. And compile and save. Okay, now it should work. Let's try it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now the timer stops and the game over it shows. Now let's see how we can get rid of these small decimal numbers. Let's go back to the player HUD and in the function timeplate, open this toText float, and we have here maximum fractional digits. So these are the ones. Let's set this to 0 and you can close this down and compile and save. Let's try it one more time. Now we have whole numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's it. Okay, we can always expand on this game mechanics, but for now I think this is going to be enough to get you started. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.